get a new phone. This one has been acting cray-cray. Buenos dias. Okay, we are live. I am here. Oh, I think it feels warm again, so I think I'm gonna turn on the other AC. See. All right, I'm waiting to see if somebody else will come. Okay, we're gonna turn this off. We got some stock. And good morning. Buenos dias. Hey, Greta. ¿Cómo estás, mi amiga? Bien? You know, somebody is bringing me a Dutch oven. You know I'm excited, right? Because I have been wanting one, but I couldn't, it wouldn't fit in my suitcases, of course. So she's bringing me one. I'm so excited. Buenos dias. Whew, I tell you, this morning, it was like the weight of everything I was like, okay, I need to distract myself. So I went on YouTube and found this South African kid choir. You know, they sing a cappella, and oh my gosh. And you know, it's like they have that warrior spirit. I remember when I was in South Africa and they talk about the Zulus, you know, we would go and they would do some presentations, and you got your plate. You're eating grits? Okay, good. Well, I had some grits and whites in the last couple of weeks, and it hasn't done me very well. So I'm going back to no carbs, very low carbs. Anyway, I'm going to run and turn that other AC unit on, so don't go anywhere. Where is my remote? It's feeling pretty warm here. I constantly have issues with South African choirs. Oh my God, aren't they the best? Ooh. Yeah, okay. So today, what I decided after my little, last week we made that soup, but for the soup, I needed to have some beef bones, and there was some beef on the bones, and of course I ate that, and it actually tore me up. Oh, I had 2 people bringing me garlic pressers. So now I'm like, bring me hulls. I need to ask for somebody to bring sugar-free hulls. I'm getting garlic press. I'm getting a Dutch oven. I don't know what else I might be needing, but they're so good about what else do you need. And so good morning, everybody. So I'm going to tell you, today is going to be a short one because I've decided after this little thing that happened to me. Hola, Marielis Rosado. How old am I? Not that you need to know that, but I'm 67. Thank you for asking. And so that meat that I digested, you know, meat, especially beef and pork, I don't eat pork at all. That's the thing that takes the most work in your stomach to digest, right? And the reactions and the bloating, just not worth it. So I decided I'm going to go back to what I know best is whole food plant-based with, you know, I eat a lot of plant anyway, but no, I'm not going to occasionally, because of this show and making recipes, that makes me have to use that. So no mas. Okay? So because I feel the best when I don't eat that junk. And fish, maybe once a week we're going to have fish. After that, it's going to be lots of chickpeas, beans and greens and all kinds of stuff. All right, so today, to finish off our fall is here series, We are making a butternut squash soup. And initially I thought I was gonna put like Brussels sprouts and other things in it, but I decided to make a salad on the side, a fall salad that's gonna have roasted beets and squash and edamame and broccoli. And then for crunch, we are going to toast some walnuts. All right, so that is the plan today. No meat, nothing like that. All right, so I went ahead and put the squash in the oven because I like it roasted instead of boiled. And then I have some garlic in there, and I have like half a carrot. That's, because when you do it in tomatoes, so when you're doing that soup, you want to add some of that. The only thing I wish I had was, yes, I wish I had some red bell peppers. Well, I don't have that, so I'm not going to worry about it. Woo! I get my facial nice. So this is what we have going on in here, okay? So it is in the oven. I'm gonna let it sit there for another, oops, let's see, because we have to get it soft, almost there. And then we're gonna, we gotta turn it back on. And then we're going to blend. Of course, we're gonna put it in the oven, in the fridge, so it will cool for a little bit. And then we have our beets. I am roasting the beets. I prefer to roast my beets. And all these vegetables were doused with herb oil that I made some more this morning. Ooh. So we have beets that are also cooking. So I did get myself a little head start. The beets are not ready. So we're gonna start over again. All right. And I made some stock this morning because the one I have frozen. So I had stock this morning with fresh garlic. Oh, I didn't put bay leaves, so I'm gonna throw it in there. I have some celery, carrots, and fresh garlic. Again, just to give you, yes, butternut squash. But for me, I prefer the calabaza, but that's what you Americans know. So I had to get it. But now I'm going to put some calabaza squash in the oven because they cook so fast, so I can put them in my salad. So they only need to cook for a little bit because I need them to have a bite, okay? And then I have an avocado that was ripening, so maybe we'll throw some of that in there. Because you never have enough veggies, right? Just throw it in there. And I know it may sound boring to some people, but listen, whole food plant-based is the way to go. You want to be healthy? Go whole food plant-based. So yesterday I was in the store and I'm like, look how pretty that calabaza is. So I couldn't help myself. I had to buy some. So I'm going to throw that one in there in the oven and let it cook just for a little bit. Gotta be careful with the squash because you don't want to cut yourself. Oh, so pretty. So what are you eating with your grits, Greta? You have eggs? That's the way I like the grits. I like them with like a couple of eggs. But it doesn't like me. Just too much carb. I swell up. Oh, the feeling of being bloated is so uncomfortable to me that it's just not worth it. Not worth it. And then I know they say it's soup season. I know I made a nice potato leek soup. Oh, that was good. But again, it's carbs, right? But at least it's not gluten, I guess. All right. So we're gonna put the squash in these little pans, which I love. I love those little pans. Get my other knife. Yeah. These other ones are too big. Ooh, we've lost a lot of people. Please tell me how old you are again. I am 67. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mary Lisa. Yeah, 67 years old. I'm old. Old. There's a sister who I've been talking to. She said she watched the last video. She said she was in tears, but she's coming in October. I'll tell you, people are stressed out. People are stressed out. So I'm gonna cube my squash, and that way they'll be about the same size, and they are so good. Just put a little herb oil in there and you are good to go. I think I started liking squash from the soup we made at home. But it's not something that we would eat on a regular. It would be just for that holiday on January 1st. But I like eating it. You know, if I make ratatouille, which I will make, I still have the eggplants in my fridge, and I need to use them before they go bad. Ooh, you see that? That's why you have to really be careful with the knife. I'm gonna rinse it. At least I rinse it. In the restaurant, they don't. So be careful where you eat. Yep. Those choirs, these kids were so good. Oh my God, I was like dancing with them. And of course, their rhythm is different. It's like a warrior type of rhythm. They're like, ready to go. I'm like, woo. There's another video I posted about this little girl standing there. I mean, she's giving it her all. She's singing, you know, and then the other ones are like, ooh. Oh, I love all that. I remember being in South Africa, and they're like, the Zulus have a warrior mentality, you know, fight. Because, you know, they probably have had to fight all their life. And that's why when I look at the kids, I was like, you know what? If these kids can, after everything they went through with apartheid and everything, do me a favor, Liam, tell your mother that she looks beautiful. Liam? She doesn't actually, what are you talking about? You moved to Belize last year. Wonderful. How do you like it? I need to visit. I don't think the expats have such a good experience. It's like Costa Rica. I visited Costa Rica. I mean, where I was more of it was a resort town with lots of young people surfing, and I don't think I would enjoy living in a place like that. But then again, I went to Limon, and I like Limon. Limon reminded me of Cologne here. You know, there's a sense of community and all, so I thought I like Limon. But Puerto Viejo, which is where I was, it's like a resort town. I was like, I don't think I want to live there. And then it was so woodsy. I tell people, when you're trying to think of a place to move to, go there. Yes, very good. And see how you feel, you know, how your soul connects with the country. I think that's important. And every time I came back to Panama, I felt more comfortable. And then I could be at the gym and I'm looking at the glass, you know, outside. And it's busy, they're honking, and then that sense of well-being, and yes, I like it here, comes onto me. I can't explain it. So I'm here for that. When I get to a point where I don't feel that, maybe I'll think of something like that. But I haven't gotten that feeling anywhere else I've been. I went to Rwanda. People stared at me so much. I was like, not that I feel self-conscious, but it was like, what are you staring at? I think I'm going to have to get a different thing to put my squash. They're too squished up in here. We're going to have to let them spread out a bit more. So let's find something else. So I'm going to put them on here instead. And we're doing this. I like it. I love it. I love to see the kids. And let me tell you, these kids, these African kids, they got some rhythm on them. Dear Lord. They ain't moving. I said, don't hate. It's in the blood. It's in the blood. Ooh, here we go. Herb oil. Yesterday, I went to the store, was it Friday? And my bill was a bit higher because I got wine, I got butter, and then I got extra virgin olive oil. And you know, those items are a bit pricey. So I was like, okay. For a good cause. All right. So we're going to put the squash in. Ooh, woo. My pores should be opening right now. Very good. I'm going to save this one. When I make the ratatouille, I'm going to add that. So it's going to be carrots. Ooh, I don't have zucchini. I might have to go tomorrow to Cinco de Mayo. No, they don't have zucchini there. San Felipe, that market. You know, it's like in Panama, you have to know where you find certain things. And maybe I'll do a video about that. If you're looking for okra, you know where to go. If you're looking for this, you know where to go, right? Would have been uncomfortable with the staring. Yeah, I'm telling you. Let me tell you. There is staring. And then there is staring. I'm talking staring. That kind of staring. Oh, okay. Well, you know, last week my phone died towards the end of the show. And when I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? So I started another stream and it was weird, but. All right. So I guess people are not too interested in the salad because we have very few people on, and that's okay. That is okay. I really can't eat like that again. It just wasn't working. It's like, no, we're not doing this. All right. So, Ale. Okay, the squash is done. The butternut. Okay, the carrots are good. Of course, tomatoes are good. And I had put a whole head of garlic in there. So we're gonna squeeze them out. So we just need to, you know what I can do? I'm gonna take the squash like I did the other day and pop it in the microwave for like a few minutes and then we'll be done. Me and my brother are on the same account, actress. 2 people watching? No, we have 6. It says 6. Okay, Mary Ellis. What are you talking about? All right. Not sure who you were, but you're out. All right. Everything roasted tastes better in my view. So I'm gonna put these 2 in the microwave, maybe 5 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm gonna put this in the fridge just for a couple of minutes so it cools off before I bring it into the blender. I just don't like to put things like really hot in the blender, even though it's glass, I know that. And then we have to get our coconut milk. Usually when you do butternut squash soup, it calls for cream. And I don't want to do the cream because it's too fattening. So we're going to use a little bit of coconut milk. Even though coconut milk has a, generous amount, not generous, but some fat. But it's good fat. It's not like the bad saturated fat. So we're going to put this in the microwave. This microwave is old, so it doesn't work as efficiently as a newer version. All right, so I do have some coconut milk, real Thai coconut milk. We're gonna use that, and then we're gonna drizzle a little bit of herb oil, and then we have our salad next to it. In the salad, this little thing here, it's like I was looking for feta, but feta comes in a big container and I don't want all that. So I bought this one. You've seen that in the stores a lot. It's like got olives and it is some kind of a vinaigrette. It's white cheese, queso blanco, which we use a lot. Love Panama very much. Well, thank you, Paula. So we're gonna throw that in there. And you can have some olives in the salad too if you want. But it's like fall and I didn't want to put olives in it. But I think edamame and the broccoli will do good. And I was looking for dill. I couldn't find dill as an herb to put in the salad. So I found mint. Yerba buena, that's what they call mint here. Yerba buena, and they have another kind of mint they call menta. I still don't know what the difference is, but we have 2 kinds. All right? So we're gonna, especially when, the same way we did our veggies to keep them from getting brown, I blanch them in hot water, cover it, and then shock them with ice water. All right, so let's get the pot. Oh, where are they? I think I'm using them. You know what? I'm gonna put them in. Can't put them in there. Okay. I still have my. I did a pineapple this week, and I have the skin because that's what I usually boil to make the base for my smoothies. So I need to find somewhere to put it so I don't throw it away. You see how I recycle? I recycle. yeah, I tell people that Panama and I are involved in a love story because I just like being here. And you know what? Every single sister in my group says the same thing. And everybody that we know loves being in Panama. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. The country is quiet, it's safe. You know, once in a while you hear about some crime, yet don't think that there's no crime here. There's a lady, an older lady, recently who got killed in the interior. She got robbed, and they killed her. So to me, if you're gonna take the money, just take the money. Why kill her? So there's still that going around. All right. And remember, I save these for my stock. I don't throw them away. I guess I'm a recycler. I recycle. So we are going to make sure we have the florets. Try to get there about the same size. Because when you're making a salad or when you're cooking, you want scale. You want things to kind of look about the same. You don't want huge and then big. No bueno. Broccoli is expensive here. I don't think they grow it. That little thing that you saw, 1 crown, you're not going to get like a head of broccoli. No, they cut it, they break them apart, and a crown, small crown would be 2 something. So if you were to get a whole head of broccoli, you're probably going to pay $5, which is what you pay for like a cauliflower. 5 something. I've never seen anything less than 5. So those are probably imported items. Carrots and everything else, we got plenty. But certain things, you pay more for. If you want to buy cauliflower rice, whew, yeah, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. CCC. And you know, I'm not in love with cauliflower anyway, so I don't miss it if I don't have it. So, alright. Muy bien. So we have that. So I think that's just about the right amount for my salad. I didn't want a lot. We're just looking for some contrast. We're gonna have the red and the orange from the squash, the green from the edamame, and the broccoli. Ooh. Oh my gosh, almost knocked my thing off. Perfecto. And we're gonna put the edamame. You know, I was shocked that I was able, I used to have a hard time finding edamame in the States, in the regular store. You have to go to Whole Foods or, I mean, I was able to find it at Walmart, which I thought was really surprising. And of course, if you have an Asian store, because it's soy, you would have edamame. But what I'm still on the hunt for is some good Korean kimchi. I haven't found that yet. But I haven't been looking seriously though, so I can't really blame it on that. I think I put a little bit too much of the edamame. All right, we're ready for that. So now we are getting ready to blend our squash. All right. Ooh, it's getting dark. It means it's going to storm again. We have had a lot of rain this year. Mucha lluvia. Okay, so you guys see that? So we got our carrots and our tomatoes gonna go in. Like I said, I wish I had some red pepper, but I don't, so we're gonna go with it. I had put some garlic in there, so we're just gonna squeeze that garlic in there. Ooh, yum, yum. Squeeze the garlic, squeeze the garlic, squeeze the garlic, squeeze the garlic. Yes. So now when my friend brings me the Dutch oven, we'll be baking some bread. Ooh, I'm so excited. Not that I need it, because you know I can't do a lot of bread, so maybe I'll have to give it away. Oh yes, there is a storm coming. I think I was out Friday and I got caught in the rain. It poured for hours. So we're gonna do this and make sure we don't put the skin in there. It poured for hours. Whew, still kind of warm. And then it would not stop. I got to the metro station and the water level going into the gutter was so high. Finally, I kind of gauged it, and when it was a little bit, down, not completely, I just made a run for it. So my shoes were wet. And I always tell the ladies, don't put your foot in, rainwater, because you don't know what's in there. And then you don't know if you have like an opening in your skin. So that is a risk for infection, flesh-eating bacteria and stuff. So when I came home, I just took some bleach and stuff, and I was wiping my feet really well, just to be on the safe side. I read a lady saying she had COVID, and I'm like, oh, COVID's still making the rounds. Lord Jesus, help us. Help us. Who wants to be dealing with this again? That virus. I don't know. I think that skin looks good. But this butternut squash was not looking so hot. That's why I don't like to buy squash whole. I like to buy cut squash so I can see the color. So this one here doesn't look that pretty. So it's gonna be a pale soup. But I was so excited to see it because I can't find it everywhere. If you go to a Panamanian store, you're not gonna find butternut squash. That's not something they use here. All right. So there was a little bit of liquid from the squash. We're gonna pour it in here. That's good stuff. That's flavor. Yeah, you put it all in here. Plus it's got all my herb oil in there. We don't want to throw it away. All right. So it's all dry. So I'm gonna put a little bit of my stock in there, okay? Ooh. Yep, I think that's good. We're gonna turn around. All right. Okay. Vámonos. I'm going to turn the oven on, I mean the stove. And now the difference with this soup and the soup I made last week is that we strain some of this, and this one we don't. But because you had that herb oil in there, and you had all these spices, it should already have like a nice taste, right? So some people would just put the cream in there and be done with it, but you know, we got to do a little bit more to this. All right, so this is what we got, okay? I think it's a little thick. So we're gonna add a little bit of our stock in there. Very good. Turn this up, bring it to a boil. Now let me check on the squash and beets. The beets are the ones taking the longest to cook. And I want it to have a bite too, but nope, it's not ready yet. That's why, you know, beets and I might just put it in the microwave. They just take too long to cook. And the squash is almost done. Looking lovely. Look at the squash, looking lovely. Whew. Let's move it around a bit. Now see, it's already where I want it because I don't want it to be overcooked. So we're gonna just turn the oven off, leave that in there, take the beets and put them in the microwave. I'm gonna do like a good, So good. Mm-hmm. I don't think I can. Oh, I forgot to add these to it. That's okay. I forgot this squash. That is fine. The beets are too hot, so I can't really put them in foil. I mean in plastic. So we are going to just cover them with a dish towel and put them in there. You know, plastic is not a good thing to heat anyway. I tell you, I wish I didn't have to use a microwave. All right. Get our soup. Yeah, I think the consistency is good now. Yes. All right, so now we're gonna doctor it to make sure the taste comes up banging. Now because I'm Caribbean, I'm gonna throw a Scotch bonnet pepper in there, but you don't have to. And remember, when I do that, just to build flavor, it's not gonna be hot. It tastes really good. And I'm gonna add some of that coconut milk. That Thai coconut milk is really good. So, little bit, that's it. Oh, yes. So, pepper. I don't think it needs any salt. Cumin. You know I'm in love with cumin. And because I love turmeric, I add turmeric to everything. And it's good for you. So you never get in a chance that you're gonna put too much, right? All right, a little bit of paprika. All right. This is the squash that I had. It's not butternut. This is calabasa. I was going to add it so it could give it a nice color. So I might cheat a little bit since I forgot to blend it. I'm just going to mash it and add it. Because I can. Right? Who says I can't? And as I said, the butternut squash was not the greatest because once you cut it, it wasn't really, you know, bright and orangey. I'm adding it. See if it will give it a little bit of a gold color. Looks yummy. All right. No acid in the soup. Definitely not. I'm adding some adobo. We haven't put that in there. And remember, when we serve it, we're going to drizzle it with some of our herb oil. No, yeah, I don't waste anything. I recycle. Oh, and I'm going to be making some fish stock from the lobster tail, the lobster shells that I had this week. So I'm just going to put some veggies in there and cook it down and then freeze it so that next time I make you know, a fish soup, I'm going to use that. It's all about building flavor. Okay, it's getting there. I guess a little bit of salt. Not a lot. Maybe a couple of bay leaves for flavor. It's good. But usually when you do the butternut squash soup, once you put it in the blender, then that's it. You know, I'm just doctoring mine a little bit. All right, let's turn the water on so we can start working on our salad. I'm gonna put the squash in the fridge for a little bit so they can cool off. And we'll do the same with the beets. We'll cool them up in the freezer. Definitely that squash was not the best. All right. And then we're gonna top our salad with some fresh mint. And in the meantime, we're going to toast our walnuts, right? I thought walnut was my least favorite nut. I don't know, I just don't like the taste. But I prefer cashew. Cashew has to be my favorite nut. I love cashew. Already. Let's see. Oh yeah, they are ready now. So they go in the fridge to cool off because otherwise I won't be able to cut them. My apio, my celery. You see, If you buy this celery and you don't cook it in about a couple of days, it just goes limp. Yep. All right. So now I'm just gonna dump the squash in the salad bowl. So our beets are cooking. They are cooling, I should say. All right, we're gonna turn well, let me move this over here. And then toast the walnuts in here. Water is boiling. So that means we are going to pour it over our edamame and our broccoli. That's how we cook them, so they can keep their beautiful green. And I just steam them like so with a towel. So in the meantime, we need to make a dressing for our salad. You know, we're gonna have Dijon, of course. Some, I put lemon, and yet last time they got me these. They call them lemons here, but to me, they were like sour orange because they don't look like really lime. And when you cut them up, they are this color here in Panama. Yes. Okay. So it's like, yeah, I can work with it. I can work with it. All right. So this is the little thing I use for my dressing. So we're going to add some of the herb oil to make our dressing. Herb oil. Now the herb oil also has some garlic, right? So, and we don't want the dressing to be too wet. I mean the salad, not the dressing. And a little bit of my extra virgin olive oil. That stuff is expensive, Lordy. And red wine vinegar. Always use that for your salad dressing. That's good. Salt and pepper. Salt, not too much. Pepper. Gotta keep an eye on things. Oh, that's what I need. I need someone to bring me one of these long pepper grinder. Oh, that's what I need. Okay, I have to call my ladies and say, bring me a pepper grinder. You know, don't realize the thing that a little bit of red pepper. Okay, I think this is good. Turn that off. Okay, red pepper flakes for me, but you don't have to have that if you don't like heat. Okay, and then we're gonna squeeze some of that supposedly lemon juice, lemon in here. But they squeeze very well. Interesting. And our salad is gonna have, we're gonna top it up with some fresh mint. Like I said, I was looking for some dill, but that's like wishful thinking. Where you think you're gonna find dill? Sometimes I see it, but it's like I stumbled upon it. Not that I was looking for it. All right, let's see. Oh, and Dijon. We didn't put the Dijon. We gotta put Dijon in the dressing. You don't have to put Dijon if you don't like Dijon. You know, I'm part French, so we love Dijon mustard. All right. I don't have Grey Poupon, but we use what we got. Oh, we need more Dijon, that's for sure. Oh, it tastes so good. It needs more Dijon and a little bit of salt. Yep. Some salt. I think a little bit more acid too would work. All right, so yeah, you see? That's what it looks like. Doesn't look like a real lemon, right? Or lime. The lime is green, but this one is yellow and it has seeds. The lime here that don't have seeds. So, and if you go to a restaurant here in Panama, you know how they put lemon slices next to your fish? You're gonna find a piece of that next to your fish. So don't be shocked. That's what they use here when they serve you your fried fish. Well, we went to this restaurant this week to get the lobster tail. And when my friend asked for lemon, I don't really need lemon on my fish like I see Americans do, but they brought her the little key limes. And then she was like, I mean, she cut a bunch on a plate and they squeezed it all. I'm like, wow. And then when she asked to take the rest home, she brought her a bag of the key lime. Oh, that's how they do things in Panama, I'm telling you. All right, so our dressing is done. A ver. Oh yeah. Very, very good. So you can make this and pour it over your salad, okay? Just leave it. All right, I think my greens should be good. You see how lovely they look? So we're gonna drain, and then we're gonna put them in ice water, in an ice bath, real quick. All about timing. So edamame and broccoli. All right. And while this is happening, you know, with the in the ice bath, we are going to peel and cut our beets. Ooh, it's hot. I'll put it on my board. It's going to discolor my board, and I'll never be able to get it. I remember when we were in South Africa, they took us to visit a Zulu village, and the kids came and they danced for us. You know how they get their legs up behind their head? It's amazing. It's a skill. I guess it's in the genes too, but they practice, the girls. It wasn't in Eswatini. Eswatini, you know, what do they call it? A different name? I think it's Eswatini. And they have a king. And I think they have a like a holiday where the king gets to choose a girl. You know, of course, he's got multiple wives because polygamy is widespread. Even where I was in my village, you know, the gentleman had multiple wives. I was like, oh. And then the gentleman I was staying with, he said, well, let me go, I'll talk to the chief, Maggie, and tell him to give you some land so you could stay. And I'm like, ooh, I don't think I could do it. You know, and they're like, where is your husband? Oh, he's at the other wife's house. I'm like, okay. Those are the kind of things you think about when you're moving to a place, right? Because their culture is different. And we also had a group, but I'm lapping it up because I love to, hola, palesa. I love to hear and to learn about the other cultures. And I remember this young lady's like, well, don't make any comment, no critique. It's just our culture. I'm like, why should we criticize you? Yeah, we don't live the same. We don't live the same way, but why should I criticize you? Isn't that the problem that we have nowadays? That everybody, you gotta share men. It's simple. All right, Donnie. Not we all. We don't do it over here. So I'm not sharing with anybody. I don't want anybody. No, I don't want to share. And don't start acting like that, or I'm going to take you off. Yeah, there are a bunch of women, but now you have an increased number of women who are not chasing men. So there's going to be more left for the ones who want them. I know right now, that's the furthest thing from my mind. But anyway, and then the way it worked where I was is that they have the first wife. The first wife has to approve. No, I don't need to share, Donnie. She had to approve the other wives coming. So it's not like it's something hushed, it's just like, that's just part of their culture. And the dowry and everything, how many cows that they have to bring. I mean, it's fascinating. Fascinating. Okay, so we're gonna take our greens and dump them in our salad. All right, gonna let this drain a little bit. Gonna cut. And I don't want to forget my queso, right? Because we're gonna add the queso to our salad. Well, you know what? The squash had some liquid. I don't want liquid in my salad. Let's put it here. Because the squash is kind of wet. All right, let's cut up our beets. I don't want to put the beets on my board because it's going to discolor my board and I won't be able to get the color back. No quiero, no quiero. All right. So keeping in mind the size of my squash, and the beets look so good. They just finished off in the microwave so well. Beets are really good for you. And this way, when I boil them, I feel like I lose, the water becomes really red. I feel like I lose something. So that's why I like to roast my beets. And some people put them in smoothies. Yeah, you're welcome to do that. I prefer them like this. A matter of preference. Nothing wrong. You could just eat it the way you feel like it. Like my mother used to feed us liver and, oh, I don't like that. Liver and onions, I know. I know some people like it, I do not. I like organs. I was watching this show, and this guy who goes around, you've probably seen him, and he eats strange stuff from all over the world. He was in Panama, and apparently someone took him somewhere close to Cinco de Mayo to one of the fondas, which is a mom and pop restaurant. And they asked the people there, he asked what the specialty was, and they told him lungs. Apparently, I don't know exactly when the video was made, but lungs, I haven't seen that. So if anybody who lives here has seen people eat lungs, let me know. I think Donnie's looking for a cougar. You're in the wrong place, buddy. We don't do that here. All right, so I am going to put the greens in. Ooh, nice. Isn't that a nice mix? Yes. All right, now, what else am I missing? I think that's it. Then we're going to crush the walnuts. We're just going to give it a rough chop. I usually put almonds in my salad, but this one called for walnut. And you know, oh, I know, that's probably one of the reasons my bill was like $75 yesterday. Usually I pay around $40, $45 for the walnut. Those things are expensive here too. But you should always add a little bit of nuts to your diet every day. But me, I tend to go overboard. I love mixed nuts. And there's this particular brand that I really like here. All right, so we're gonna throw the walnuts in. Oh, that's gonna be so good. All right. In our bowl. Yep, that's our bowl. And now we're gonna add our cheese. Queso blanco. We're also gonna put the olives that are in there. Ooh. Yum. So so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? You know, another thing I could have put in there are some kind of rough chopped tomatoes, but I don't know. I'm not going to. But you could. So now we're going to chop some fresh mint. I love mint because I use it for, I make tea out of it. Oh, these look really good. Wow. I find that when I buy herbs in these containers instead of the one that are loose, they last longer. Ooh, smells amazing. So I'm gonna roughly chop these. Wow, I love the smell. So you can put mint in your tea, and I put mint in a lot of my salads. It's a nice balance. I might squeeze a little bit. I think I put lemon in the dressing, so I won't have to do that. I just need to add some dressings. Rough chop. Ooh, smell. Wow. Look at that. Ooh, yum. Play with your food, ladies. Play with your food. And it comes to dressing. That's good. I'll give it a mix. Ooh. Oh, that is so pretty. Listen. Squash, beets, broccoli, edamame, and then a dressing with, and then we added toasted walnuts, and then we finished it off with some fresh mint. Wow. Listen, I'm telling you, play with your food. All right, so now, how do we plate this? I thought maybe we could put our salad in here. Guilt-free eating. Oh, beautiful. Remember, I always say you eat with your eyes. If whatever you are serving looks pleasing, people are more likely to want to eat it. And that's what you should want. That somebody wants to eat your food. So your broccoli is still a little bit crunchy, which is what you want, but it's not raw. And it gives me a sense that it's safe to eat because it's not fresh, which is what I worry about fresh veggies that are not steamed or anything, okay? So we're gonna decorate this with a twig of yerba buena, menta. Oh, it smells amazing. Yerba buena, yerba buena. All right, so we have our salad. It's a fall salad, yummy. And then we're gonna add our soup. Well, you know, if you're looking at soup, I think I prefer the soup that I made last week. But, you know, for you guys who love butternut squash, because you're not used to using other types of squash, but I want to tell you, I think somebody was showing acorn this morning where they roasted it and then, you know, roasted it again and cut it up like in a salad type thing. I mean, I think if you use any kind of squash, you're going to be good, right? Because you can't go wrong with squash. You cannot go wrong. Okay. It moved in the dish, so I have to fix it and clean it up. I actually need a nicer bowl for my soups. I have my pretty blue bowl, but it's too big. You can't eat that much butternut squash soup. So just like I do for my potato leek soup, we're going to drizzle some of that coconut milk instead of cream, instead of heavy cream. We're not doing heavy cream. Okay? Too fattening. Add it. Coconut milk is a lot healthier for you. So you could just take this. This one is watery. I don't like that. This is the Thai. Yeah, it's very watery. No me gusta. But I'm just gonna just do it for decoration. Okay, that's enough. And then we're gonna do our herb oil. My herb oil. And we're just gonna drizzle a little bit. That's it. Eso es todo. So, we're eating light today. I wanted to make pita chips, but in true form, I couldn't find any. Couldn't find any in the stores. All right, this is our fall salad. And our butternut squash soup. I just put a little bit of coconut milk on top and drizzled it with some of our herb oil. All right. And then I'll be having lunch. See. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. I know it was kind of a boring recipe today for some of you because not many people are on, but that is fine. Mr. Hogan, yes, it's pretty. I agree. And then of course, you know, it's good, right? Because you know exactly what's in it. And the soup, it's cloudy, it's gonna rain, so that's perfect. And if you have some crusty bread, that's great. So you're at the door, Greta. And when I get the Dutch oven, we'll make some bread in there. You're welcome, Deborah. We'll make some bread, very easy. You don't have to roll and do all that stuff. And you just put the good ingredient in it. And I think I want to spend some time and make some focaccia bread, which is the one that's Italian, and you can have it with your pasta or your soups. All right, guys. So go play with your food, okay? This one was easy, you know that, right? It's a squash, beets, which is to me the best way to cook beets is to roast it. And I have edamame, and then I have some queso blanco, broccoli, and then you make a nice dressing with Dijon vinaigrette. All right, have a good day, guys. God bless you. I love you. Bye.